Hey, this is Chan, and today I'm going to be doing a whole lot of yammering about these plain notebooks from Hobonichi. I've got the A5 one here and the A6 one here. I talked about these in my haul video, but I wanted to make another video about them just to kind of go into a little more detail, right? So first, let's start off with the sizes of them. So the A6 is just a little bit over 4 inches wide. It's about 4 1/8 of an inch wide, right? And then the height of it is about 5 7/8. And then the thickness of it is about 5/16 of an inch, right? And here's the A5, and the A5 is about 5 7/8 of an inch wide, right? And then the height of it is about 8 1/4 inches, right? And the thickness of the A5 is roughly 3/8 of an inch, right? And you can see here that the A6 is half the size of the A5, yeah? All right. Okay, so let's talk about the covers next. Just in case you're wondering, the covers of the plain notebooks have a matte finish. Let me just bring in my A5 Techo here. You can see, well, hopefully you can see that this has, I'm not sure if my lighting will help to show this, but this has a slight coating on the cardstock. It's not totally matte. It's also not glossy or anything, but you can definitely feel that it's got a coating on the cardstock. But these guys here, they have a totally matte finish, right? Okay. And then this is the print that's on the front, and then the back has a Hobonichi on the bottom. So the covers on these are nice and thick. They've got a good thickness to them, nice sturdy feel to them. And then each notebook has a very small rounded corner on these two sides here. So you can see, I'm not sure if you can see, but there's a very tiny little rounded corner there. Okay. Same with this one over here, you got a little tiny rounded corner. So I've written some things down just to do a little bit of a comparison for you guys. Okay, so here are my notes. For the plain notebook, the A6 one, you get 240 pages in there, and these are Tomoe River paper pages. So they're just like the paper that they use in the A6 and A5 Techos, and also the English planner, and also the Weeks book. All of them have Tomoe River paper in. In its unused state, this is about 117 grams, according to the website. I did not actually count the pages or weigh them or anything. I just went by the information that's on the Hobonichi site. And these books here, the two plain notebooks, they both have a 3.7 millimeter grid inside. So as I mentioned before, the A6 has 240 pages inside, and you get 4 colors in there. So each color gets 60 pages, right? So you get 60 pages of red grid, red printed grid, and then you get 60 pages of blue, and then 60 pages of green, and then 60 pages of purple. So I just want to point out that in my notes here, I have the prices in Japanese yen, because I just copied them off of the website, right? And on the website, they actually include tax in all of their prices. So those prices are for people who are in Japan. If you're not in Japan, then once you go through the checkout process, they deduct the tax from your total. So the price, if you're not in Japan, the price will be a little bit lower than what's shown there. So the price on the website is 972 yen for the A6 size, right? So Hobonichi has several other A6 options for us, right? They've got the Avec, which is a set of 2 books that splits the year into 2 books so that you have thinner books rather than having a full year in one book and having a thicker book that way, right? Although with the Avec, you can actually buy, at some point in the year, they start offering the July to December book by itself. So that way, if you're starting later in the year, then you don't have to spend money on the January to June book and not even use it, you know what I mean? So you can buy the July to December book separately. They don't offer that right away, but later on they do. So for the Avec, I did not put the number of pages or the weight here just because I didn't have enough space. But on the website, they're saying that each Avec book has 240 pages inside and weighs approximately 117 grams. So it's basically the same as this one here, okay? And you can see here that the Avec has a 3.7 millimeter grid as well. And the price on just one of the books, so if you're just buying the July to December book, the price is 1,188 yen. And if you buy the set of 2 books, the price is 2,376 yen. So you don't actually get any kind of price break if you buy the set of 2. It would be nice if you get it a little cheaper if you buy the set of 2, but you don't. So the next one on the list is the Techo Original, and that's the A6 size Japanese version. And that one has 464 pages inside, and when it's totally empty, when it doesn't have any stickers or anything else in it, it's 208 grams, and it's got a 3.7 millimeter grid as well, and the price on that is 2,160 yen. And then the English planner has 448 pages, and it's about 200 grams when it's unused, and it's got a 4 millimeter grid, so it's got a slightly larger grid than the other ones, and it costs more than the other ones. It's 2,700 yen. Okay? So you can see here that the A6 plain notebook is the most affordable one out of all of them. Even if you decide to get 2 of these, it's cheaper than getting the set of 2 Avec books, and it's cheaper than getting the Techo Original, and it's cheaper than getting the English planner. Okay? Alright, so let's talk about the A5 next. So for the A5 plain notebook, you get 288 pages inside, and it weighs approximately 278 grams when it's totally empty. And in this one, you also get the 4 colors. You get red, blue, green, and purple grid, and the ink color changes every 72 pages, right? So you got the red, just like the other one. Okay. The blue, the green, and the purple. So just like the A6 one, this one has a 3.7 millimeter grid as well, and the price on this one is 1,296 yen. Okay, so let's talk about the Avec next. The Avec has 288 pages inside as well, so it's the same thickness as this one here, and also weighs approximately 278 grams, and also has a 3.7 millimeter grid. You can see the price difference though. The July to December Avec book, so if you're just buying the second half of the year, that costs 2,095 yen. And then if you buy the set of 2 books, then that is 4,190 yen. And again, you don't get any price break if you buy the set of 2. It's just that price times 2. Okay? So for the A6 size, the Avec and Techo Original are both in Japanese, right? And then there's an English planner that you can choose if you want. For the A5 size, the Avec and Techo Cousin, they're both in Japanese, and there's no English version, unfortunately. So for the Techo Cousin, you get 544 pages in it. It weighs about 482 grams, and it has a 3.7 millimeter grid, and the price is 3,780 yen. So again, you can really see a price difference here. Even if you get 2 of the plain notebooks, it's still considerably cheaper than getting the Techo Cousin, right? Alright, so now I'm going to put these in a couple of covers that I have. I've got my Cat Trio cover here, and also my Soda Dots cover, and my Soda Dots cover has the red thread cover on cover, printed cover on cover on it. Cute little doggy, I love little dog. Alright, so I've got my book bent like this, right? And I can just slide the front and back covers in here. Just like that. And then my A5 one, my little die cuts. Same thing, just gonna bend the cover back. There we go. So something I did not mention before that I should have mentioned is that these plain notebooks are bound in the same way as the A6 Techo and the A5 Techo. They have a stitch binding, which is awesome because the book can lay flat. So it's easy for the notebook to lay flat when you're writing in it or when you're journaling, right? So I really love the binding on Hobonichi books because it's so much better if the book lays flat. It seems like a simple thing, but it's really something that is very helpful when you're journaling. So I was trying to think of some advantages for using these over the Techos, and I thought of several of them. So let's say you're interested in Hobonichis more for journaling and not so much for planning. So let's say you don't really need the monthly view in the A6 Techo or the monthly and weekly view in the A5 Techo, and you're only really interested in the journaling pages, then these would be great for you because then you don't have a bunch of monthly and weekly pages that go unused, right? And then the quality of these notebooks is just as good as the A6 and A5 Techo. The pages are the same Tomoe River paper, the same grid size, the same binding, the same lay flat binding, right? So you get that quality that you would get from the Techos, the A5 and A6 Techos. And you get the same size, the A6 size and the A5 size. So if you have a bunch of covers already, then these notebooks will fit in your existing covers, right? And you get more use out of your covers that way too. These will also be great if you cannot keep up with the daily pages in A6 and A5 Techo. Because I know that some people feel bad if they can't keep up with it, right? And I don't think anyone should feel bad about it, but I understand that some people don't like having a bunch of empty pages. So in this case, with these plain notebooks, you can journal whenever you want. You don't have to worry about keeping up with the dates on printed pages. You can just skip a bunch of days if you want, or you can journal 5 pages in a day, whatever you like, right? And as I was mentioning before, these are much cheaper than the Techos. So that's a huge selling feature, I think, because you're getting a similar feel in the size and the quality of the notebooks, but you're paying a lot less for them, right? So if you really don't think you need the monthly view in the A6 or A5, and if you really don't need the weekly view in the A5, then these would definitely be a good thing to consider. Another thing is, if you're really into decorating and doing a lot of writing, not having the date and the quote and the mini calendar on each page gives you more space for journaling. Alright, so here's my A5 Techo, and you can see you've got the date up there, right? And you've got the quote here, and then you've got the date up there, the quote here, and a mini calendar over here, right? So if you take that away, then it just opens up more space. And a lot of times I actually cover up this part with washi tape anyways, or stickers. And I also have this thing where I really like adding the date in different ways too. So instead of, sometimes I'll use the printed date that's on there, but instead of looking at this same kind of format for the full year, sometimes I'll put, labels with the date on, or I'll stamp the date on with a roller stamp or something, or put the date on with stickers and stuff like that, right? So to me, it's fun to decorate in different sorts of ways and have a different looking layout instead of having this on every single page. So sometimes I'll just cover it or put a pattern paper over the whole page and then stamp the date or whatever, right? So I just like decorating in different ways and not necessarily sticking with this format all the time. So I think that's pretty much all I wanted to mention in this video. I hope I did not bore you too much, because I was just thinking, oh, it's going to be one of those informational videos. Maybe it's going to be kind of boring to people. I don't know. But I just did want to talk about these a little bit more before I start using them. Anyway, I just want to say thanks for watching, and hopefully catch you next time. Alright, bye!